Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
And you are going in SmackDown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it Raw. Oh, baby, I like it Raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Yeah, welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve Larson. Also available wherever fine podcasts are, including Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes,
Google Play.
I usually say iTunes first.
You do iHeartRadio,
Yeah.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon Spotify. We're working on it.
And remember, if you're on the iTunes, you got to hit that subscribe, download button. Even if you're just watching this on YouTube and you want to like to look at our ugly mugs, you know, take a second, pick up your smartphone, your iOS device, and hit download on iTunes because it sends us skyrocketing in the ratings.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to talk about some New Japan and Ring of Honor today.
Yeah, they just had their two Honor Rising shows. Took place Sunday and Monday.
Absolutely.
We finally got a chance to watch all of it. Mm-hmm. Almost 6 hours of New Japan, Ring of Honor, crossover wrestling excitement.
Now, this is akin to whenever, okay, so for example, recently DC Comics, and I want to say Boom Studios has the Star Trek license. I want to say it's Boom. They did a Green Lantern Star Trek crossover.
That's interesting.
Back in the day, DC and Marvel did their own crossover called
That was the Amalgam Universe, right?
Amalgam Universe. So this has all the seriousness of that, where the status quo remains between the promotions. This is more, honestly, this was more a 2-night celebration of the working arrangement between
absolutely.
Ring of Honor and New Japan, because we got a lot of really great crossover moments, but there's like no title changes. There was like one singles match, I think.
No, there's more than that. There's only one.
Well,
there's two. There was two matches. Oh, there's two.
There's two, exactly. But this was a lot of fun, and there were little moments here.
Oh, for stories, yeah.
But further mapped out where we think things are going to be headed in both promotions.
Yes.
So we'll start off from night one.
Yeah.
Silas Young, his first time in New Japan.
They said after 15 years in the industry, something like that.
He started at 20 because he's only like 35.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. 15 years.
He's got the best mouth in the business. And I'm not just talking about like his microphone skills, which he doesn't have the best microphone skills in the business, but his mouth is so grizzled and old. It looks like he ate the golden current. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that mouth. Oh, man. Anyways, he teamed up with the only other two real men, according to him.
According to Rocky Romero.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He was on commentary with Kevin
he did
Kelly.
a good job.
Did a really good job. I loved every time somebody would pass by. If they were chaos, they would, give him a fist bump or whatever. He and
Naito had a running
him and
thing
Naito
going
almost
on.
had, yeah. And if it was Bullet Club or LIJ, they'd give him shit, and he'd be like, "I'm just trying to sit here and do commentary."
Yeah, it was great.
Anyway, Silas Young teamed up with Jado and Gato.
Yeah, and they took on Kushida, Juice Robinson, Steve's favorite.
This is my
and David Finlay.
Fitz kid.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised, but then I realized that. So I thought Silas Young was going to pick up the pin here. He got it on night 2.
Yeah, instead, Juice Robinson. I can't remember exactly who he hit his finisher on. I can't remember. It wasn't Silas.
I forget. It was not Silas? Okay, I don't remember.
But Juice Robinson busted his nose. Or he didn't bust his nose, sorry. They thought he did, but the night 2 they clarified they didn't think he did, but it got busted open.
Oh, that's good. It got busted open.
It got busted open.
Yeah, Juice Robinson. They're I don't know why, man. They're pushing that guy. That pin right there, they're going to push him in some. I think they're going to try to push him for that never open weight.
Yeah.
But Goto should not Goto should never drop that title to Juice Robinson.
I don't think so
I
either.
don't like that at all. Wait, Goto has it right now, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he defended night 2.
Oh, who did he take on night 2?
Punisher Martinez, yeah.
Oh, that's right. So anyways, yeah, I mean, look, like we said, a lot of these matches, these multi-man matches, not really a lot going. Let's say it's no Wrestle Kingdom,
No. I mean, like a lot of these multi-man tag matches, they kind of all start blending into each other at a certain point.
This first match existed there was one Ring of Honor guy. That was Silas Young.
I know.
All the rest are New Japan guys.
I know. That's one thing I kind of wish they did with this show was make it Ring of Honor versus New Japan.
Like a bragging rights thing.
Yeah.
I know.
That'd have been interesting, but I guess I understand. They don't want to...
Yeah, dude, you need to protect your guys.
Yeah, I
No,
understand
totally
that.
get
But I mean, they could book it so at the end, Ring of Honor wins 6 matches and New Japan wins 6 matches.
I know. And it's Ring of Honor. Like, they're never afraid to take pins. Everybody gets pins there.
I mean, I was surprised some people ate pins during the course of this show. These 2 shows.
Yeah.
Regardless of what company they're associated with.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, neither company seems... Yeah, people eat pins all the time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Next up, we had Jushin Liger, Tiger Mask, and Delirious. Had you seen Delirious before? I love this dude.
Yeah.
Man, this guy has got to have some of the best cardio
That's true.
I've seen, because he just runs around frantically like he's on bath salts, like grunting and...
Yeah, like talking incomprehensibly.
Yeah. It was a cute match, though. They took on LIJ's Bushi, Evil, and Sonata.
Yeah.
And, Delirious was kind of the, again... one Ring of Honor guy. He was sort of the standout here, though. Ring of Honor they're like SmackDown. They don't have a robust roster.
They don't have a deep roster.
They don't.
Not really looking at this card.
Like, I'm sorry, but New Japan has like 3 factions of like 20 people each.
I know.
And then like the non-faction people.
I know.
Which also number in the plenty.
Yes.
Ring of Honor, they
have Jay Lethal, Adam Cole,
like,
War
look,
Machine, the Young Bucks are also in New Japan.
We only have so much money for tickets to Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah, Delirious, though, made a big impact here.
But before you continue, I wonder if, like, Marty Scurll isn't on this show. He's in Ring of Honor. Do you think maybe some of the arrangements he has, potentially with other promotions,
Yeah, maybe
kept him off the show?
Maybe. I don't know. It's a good question.
I was just trying to think in my mind like, it was interesting that Roppongi Vice didn't have a match. I mean, granted, they wrestle for both promotions.
Yeah.
But so do the Young Bucks.
Maybe Beretta had, I don't know. I have no idea. Wait, was Rocky Romero, he's not nursing anything?
Not I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea.
No, because they have a match against the Young Bucks at the anniversary show. Ring of Honor anniversary show in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, Sonata picked up the win for LIJ by having Delirious tap out to the Skull's End.
And is this the one where Tiger Mask was D-Man?
No, that was night 2.
Was night 2.
That was night 2.
Ahead. Okay. A lot of these just sort of bleed into each other for me.
Yeah, these multi-man tag matches, because they all typically have the same competitors, just in different arrangements.
Yeah.
It's easy to get confused.
Next up, we had an 83-man match. It was Bullet Club versus Chaos. It was the Tokyo Pimp Takahashi.
Yeah.
Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, or Roa, whichever one it is, and Bad Luck Fale.
Taking on Okada, Will Ospreay, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi.
Yeah.
So going into this match, I had a feeling that Yoshihashi was probably going to be involved in the win for his team, because he had the match the following night for the Ring of Honor title against Adam Cole.
Yeah, baby.
So I thought, okay, maybe they'll book Yoshihashi strong. Sure enough, pinned Takahashi, picked up the win for Chaos.
Okay, so let me ask you this. From your point of view, your perception, Yoshihashi, who would he be in the WWE? Like, who's his counter in the WWE? Because I feel like he's too small of a name. And I could be completely fucking wrong.
Yeah,
he's not a standout guy, because he fought Adam Cole, baby, the next night for the Ring of Honor title.
I know, I'm trying to think of an analogy here.
Like, I feel like it should have been Hiromu Takahashi. The ticking time bomb should have been taken on Adam Cole.
Or Goto.
Yeah. Like, it should have been somebody with a friggin' title.
Who's someone in WWE that's like firmly mid card?
Yeah, but it's so hard to say these days with the brand split. There's like no mid card anymore.
Like, I would say Dolph, but I don't know what Yoshihashi's
Yeah, I would say Dolph.
history is. You
You don't
know,
want
prior to January when I started watching New
You don't
Japan.
want Dolph taking on your world champ. What are you doing, Ring of Honor? Anyways, so yeah, Yoshihashi picked up the win over Bullet Club.
Yeah.
But it's like Bullet Club Hollywood. Well, no, the Girl of Destiny are good.
Yeah, they're great.
Bad Luck Fale and Tokyo Pimp. They're the Stevie Ray and Scott. No, I like Scott Norton. The Stevie Ray and
Bryan Adams.
I forgot that fool's in NWO. Yeah, the Bryan Adams exactly of Bullet Club. Moving on, we had this was probably okay. This was one of my favorite matches.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it was match of the night because there were some other good matches on here. But War Machine versus the Young Bucks. Holy crap! When hosses fly, Larson. When hosses fly,
I know.
Oh my gosh, War Machine are great, and they were pushed hard during this card during both nights.
Yeah,
they picked up the win both times. This time against the Young Bucks,
which surprised me. Yeah,
it surprised me too. But some of the things these big boys were doing, man, I was like, I'm fat. I'm not nearly as fat as they are. And I couldn't even come close to doing some of these moves they're doing. They were coming off top ropes. They were jumping over rope, like flipping over ropes and shit.
Yeah.
Man.
One thing I was worried about going to this match is the size disparity because War Machine are a couple of large hosses. And the Young Bucks, they max out maybe at 200 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
If that,
sure. Yeah, if that.
But they made it believable where the Young Bucks were just using their quickness to gain the upper hand when they did.
Yeah.
So in terms of the story, it ended up working out okay because sometimes you watch a match where you see this large hoss-like wrestler facing off against a smaller competitor, and it's like, okay, this is not believable in the least.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
But it was probably helpful there was a tag match and that New Japan's kind of liberal with the 5 count when there's 2 people in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Which I like.
Oh, I love that too. Yeah.
I like that tag matches are a little more unstructured.
Yeah, I like that too.
But yeah, it was a good match, and War Machine picked up the win.
Yeah, they're great. I love them. I started reconsidering. I got to see if there's a different way I can get weekly Ring of Honor content.
Yeah.
Because that streaming service of theirs is...
We should see if they're still on cable TV.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
One thing I like about War Machine is that instead of tagging in with their, slapping hands, they smash forearms.
Oh, that was great.
A la the Bash Brothers of the Oakland A's of the late 80s.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And then the night 2, they were doing that when they picked up the win against Girls of Destiny.
Yeah, they're going around ringside.
With the Young Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Let's see here. Then we had Dalton Castle with Taguchi and Tanahashi, who came out as Dalton Castle's boys. The guys who strip him down and they fan him off. They took on Punisher Martinez, Takahashi, the Ticking Time Bomb, and Naito.
Yeah, from LIJ.
Now,
is this the first time you've seen Dalton Castle?
Oh, I don't know. Probably. I've seen some of his promos before. I've never really seen him fight or anything. I kind of knew what his gimmick was. But I love it. I thought he was honestly in terms of making kind of an impact. I don't know what they did last year, but for making an impact in terms of standing out amongst the crowd, I thought the fact that he came out, and how great is it? If Tanahashi's the ace of New Japan, he's kind of the Cena. He's one of the most winningest dudes, right? That's sort of who I compare him to. I don't ever see Cena being secure enough to do that, to do something like this.
Probably not.
I guess maybe it depends.
He doesn't take himself. I don't know if he takes himself that seriously.
Yeah.
These days, I know 10 years ago.
In the world of wrestling, I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I'll rephrase this. I don't see the WWE ever letting Cena do something like that.
That's probably more likely.
Yeah, okay. Which is a shame. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like Tanahashi at any point, because of how winning he is, he can hop back up into the main event scene.
Oh, yeah.
But then he can do something goofy like this. He's been hanging out with the Funky Weapon for how long now? They had those
since
trios titles.
Ever since New Year's Dash.
Yeah. But Dalton Castle, a lot of fun to watch that guy.
There's an interesting dynamic going on between Punisher Martinez and Takahashi and Naito at the beginning of the match. Takahashi and Naito do this.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get Martinez to do it, and he won't do it.
Yeah. Says, no deal. Punisher Martinez, again, he's also booked strong throughout.
Yeah. Do you know how long he's been wrestling?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. He looked like a creator wrestler, though.
Kind of.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I'll check out maybe some of his work in Ring of Honor. Will enlighten me as to why they're pushing him so hard.
Yeah.
And then at the end, so Punisher Martinez picked up the win. And the end, I think he pinned Castle, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Takahashi, Naito raise their fists. Punisher won't. Naito just gives him the middle finger.
I know.
I love it. That guy's so money.
I know. I was kind of surprised that they didn't have Bobby Fish on this tour.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Or Frankie Kazarian wasn't there.
Yeah. And he's Bullet Club now.
I know.
Yeah, that's weird.
Here I'm going through the list of the Ring of Honor. Excuse me, talent.
There he is, Punisher Martinez.
He doesn't have a Wikipedia entry.
Doesn't have it, so evidently new.
Oh, they have this punishment. That's what I thought Kevin Kelly was saying last night, but on the
thing, it was Punisher Martinez.
Yeah.
It's Punishment Martinez?
Maybe. That's what I thought Kevin Kelly was saying. Yeah, here on Ring of Honor's website, it says Punisher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's both.
I don't know.
We're still learning here, people. Somebody in the comments enlighten us. Next up, we had a tag match. One of our absolute favorites in New Japan, Shibata.
Yeah.
And teamed up with one of our favorites, probably our favorite from Ring of Honor, Jay Lethal.
Yes.
To take on Cody Rhodes and Hangman Page. This is a fun match. I really like the little stories being told here. I feel like they're really trying to focus on Hangman Page, trying to build him up a little bit, his stature in Bullet Club a little bit.
Yeah, he's a really impressive athlete.
Yeah, some of the shit that he does is really kind of he's deceptively athletic.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really seem like he'd be that athletic a guy, but he's doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't seem that tall.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, he's muscular, but he doesn't seem like he's huge.
Yeah.
But he was doing some impressive moves in terms of strength and also athleticism.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you were saying, there was kind of two distinct stories going on here. There was Cody and Shibata. And then there was also Page and Lethal, and that story in particular continued on night 2.
Right. No, I thought that Jay Lethal was really kind of a standout here. I mean, we saw Shibata and Cody go at it
a little bit, yeah.
It was fun. I was actually kind of disappointed. For some reason, I had it in my head that night 2 is going to feature a singles match for those two.
Oh yeah,
I want to see that, but they're teasing that.
Yeah, I'm guessing we'll see
bigger.
that at the next major show.
I would hope so.
Is there something in between? Because I know there's the New Japan Cup. They were hyping that a lot.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't look at the brackets of that yet.
I don't know if they're out.
They are out. They came out today.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's Dominion in June.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's a major show in between.
I don't know.
There's a 45th anniversary show. I don't know if the card's been announced for that, though.
Oh, I don't know. I want to see this, though. I want to see Shibata Cody Rhodes.
Oh,
Cody
yeah.
Rhodes is a fucking stud, man.
Yeah, he is.
Like, it's so obvious. We've said this before, like in the PWG video. Like, Cody is obviously having tons of fun right now. Very loose. Doing some great work, some stuff that he probably wasn't allowed to do in the WWE.
Oh, I know.
It's so much fun to see this. Him and Hangman Page are having some fun. Cody seems very happy to be in Bullet Club, which is interesting because at Wrestle Kingdom 11, he didn't even get, like, he had Bullet Club on his boots, which he still does.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't flanked by any members of Bullet Club or anything like that. So I like that he's becoming a real member of the club now.
I'm looking over the first round matches for New Japan Cup. Tama Tonga versus Yano, first round.
That's great.
Oh man, Shibata versus Suzuki, first round match. That's gonna be great.
That's gonna be really good.
Omega versus Ishii.
Oh, we got Juice Robinson versus Takahashi.
Oh, Tokyo Pimp.
Oh wait, no, yeah, Tokyo Pimp Takahashi. Kenny Omega versus Ishii. They essentially gave Omega a bye.
Yeah, kind of.
That's fantastic.
That's going to be a great match, Shibata Suzuki. That's going to be awesome.
You think there's any chance we're going to see these two end up?
I think so.
I think so.
In the second round.
Gorillas of Destiny against each other. That could be a lot of fun. Man, that's going to be cool.
I know.
How many nights is that?
This is March 11th and 12th.
Oh, it's 2 nights. Okay.
And that's just the first round.
Oh, ooh, I love it. Going to be staying up at 1 o'clock in the morning again.
What day of the week is March 11th and 12th? Because I can't be doing that on a weekday. We got totally sidetracked. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just wanted to see the brackets. I didn't see it. Continue.
Let's see here. So, anyways, yeah, we got to see a little bit of Shibata, Cody. Hangman Page. No, Jay Lethal picked up the win.
Hit the lethal injection on Hangman Page. Picked up the win.
I love that. Because that's his springboard stunner, right?
Cutter.
Yeah. Boy, it looks good. He's old, but he's so fast. He's still so fast.
I don't think he's that old.
Really?
He's just been around for a long time. He's in his
Really?
30s, I'm sure, early 30s.
I'm going to say he's 36.
Okay. I'm going to say he's 33 or 34.
Really? He's 31? How is it possible Jay Lethal's only 31? Oh, my gosh. That's fantastic. Good for him. Let's see here. Good for him being born later than I thought he was. Let's see here. Next up, we had
our main event for night one, which saw the return of the cleaner Kenny Omega.
It cracks me up, dude. Like in the WWE, when you come back after this wasn't an extended absence,
About a month and a half.
Yeah, he didn't miss that long, but still, Kenny Omega, big news, and he comes back at in this sort of goofy. Like it's and especially like their entrance at the how do you pronounce the town? Kurikan.
It's in Tokyo, but that's this Kurikan Hall.
At Kurikan Hall. It's like the most mellow entrance. Like they just walk from like the concession stand essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming from the locker room, but there's no lights, there's no spotlight, there's no ramp.
There's no theatrics involved
There's no
whatsoever.
theatrics.
Yeah.
They just sort of they mill. It's a milling about entrance.
But in a sense,
they mill through the crowd.
In a sense, it's kind of neat because they come right through the crowd.
Yeah.
Omega's dropping 2 sweets on people.
Yeah, taking pictures.
Yeah.
One of them, I think one of the Young Bucks kissed a baby's head.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It seems like a pretty intimate venue to watch a show, especially seeing wrestlers of that caliber.
Great. It's probably amazing.
I mean, it's kind of akin to going to a PWG show, just on a larger scale.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, PWG is like being in a closet with like 400 people.
Yeah,
or like
it's 400 people.
It's 400. Yeah,
yeah. But I think Kurikan is like 1,000. Like capacity is like 1,000 or 2,000 at most.
There's like breathing room there. PWG, it's like, sorry.
Oh, I know.
Sorry.
I think that's what they said. The capacity of Kurikan Hall is not that large.
Anyways, this was a lot of fun.
It was a ton of fun.
Like two guys, Kenny Omega and Michael Cole and Adam Cole versus the Briscoes, who are a couple of my favorites. I fucking love the Briscoes. Jay he's the most intimidating person, like human being, I think I've ever seen. He's great. And they're so fast. They're so like just brutal and vicious. It's great. Mm-hmm. And so this was a lot. This match was just a lot of fun. Like it wasn't like overly serious or anything. There were a lot of comedic moments where Adam Cole was doing his, posing, preening, arrogant thing.
But that was mostly confined to the first part of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny was getting somewhat irritated by it.
Trying
to get him to get focused on the match.
Yeah.
But then once the match really got going, Adam Cole really didn't do any of his Adam Cole babies.
Yeah. The crowd were eating it up, though.
Yeah.
They love Adam Cole now. Adam Cole ended up getting the win. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega didn't even get the win the first night. It was great. Adam Cole got the win.
He didn't get the pin the second night either.
Oh, that's right. And then Kenny Omega dropped a promo. It was great. He's back. He started talking, and then Adam Cole took the mic from him and started talking about himself and how the most important thing is that the 3-time Ring of Honor World Champion is going to be wrestling more in New Japan. And then Omega took the microphone back. And it was like a brotherly argument, like a lighthearted brotherly. It's like something like you can see these two guys being like stepbrothers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's hilarious. And I know New Japan are trying to like tease some dissension, but like I said earlier, it's just it's not going to work. It'll be. I'm really interested to see where they go with this.
I know,
like how far they can actually go with this.
I know
if the two guys who are supposed to be at the focal point of it are just too busy goofing with each other.
I know, especially if they're doing YouTube videos together.
All shot on evidently somebody's iPhone 3 because the quality of these videos is so bad. I don't know. It's hilarious. Anyways, that brings us to night 2. Yeah, we're doing all this in one video.
Yeah.
So we had Jado and Silas Young
against Kushida in Finley. Kind of a rematch of the night 1 bout.
Yeah, Silas Young again cuts a promo on
that was kind of confusing.
Yeah, it was confusing the first night. He said something like, "You people here in Japan are supposed to be all about respect and true, pure pro wrestling, but I found myself 2 real men, and it was so confusing.
You better respect us, or something like that.
It was so like he was trying to cut a heel promo, but I think he lost a line." because it didn't make any sense.
No.
Which kind of made it all the better. Because he's
It
just...
definitely made it more Silas Young.
Which is better. Which
Yeah.
is a
No,
euphemism
I know.
for better.
I know.
Because like spit's flying everywhere. And it's so confusing and it's so
Does he
weird.
have that T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees that just says "Real Man"?
I don't know. Probably. It's great though. So I don't know. It was fun, and they let Silas Young pick up the victory.
Yeah, he picked up the win. Hit his what's his finisher called? Misery.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
called Misery. How great is that too?
Yeah, he pinned Finley, picked up the win.
And he's got the grumpiest Twitter account too. All he does is just whine.
What was that one thing he was complaining about? Pork chops and vomiting. What was that all about?
It was about pork chops and vomiting, man. I have no idea. I don't know. I feel like he leads a very grisly life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Anyways, next up we had LIJ versus, once again, Delirious, Jushin Liger, Tiger Mask, Dalton Castle, and Taguchi.
The funky weapon.
The funky weapon. And there was a great moment at the beginning of this one where Taguchi came out in full Dalton Castle, because Dalton Castle comes out first and his boys do his thing, but then those same boys, I think,
Come in and start waving the peacock feather fans.
do the same thing for Taguchi,
Who has his own cape.
who mimics to perfection Dalton Castle's thing, and they pose together, and then in the cutest moment Dalton Castle gives him a dick bump.
Yeah.
And he smiles, and Taguchi's like, whoa. Oh, I thought that was so fucking adorable.
Yeah.
That was so fucking
That was
cute.
great.
I loved it. Because you could tell Dalton Castle was having like the most fun of anybody there.
I know.
So LIJ ended up picking up the victory. I don't know who they pinned.
I think Evil pinned. I don't remember.
I was talking to you about this over lunch. So I said, Evil cracks me up because like when the lights are out at Kurikan Hall, like it's all menacing and he's got the great lasers on his hands.
Oh,
and
I
then
know.
the lights come up and it's a dude who like, he looks like he just came out of a Spirit Halloween
I know,
store
I
after
know.
like the day after Halloween.
Well, I know it was like when Taguchi was poking fun at his gimmick.
It's really no different. Like, yeah,
No.
it was just like, yeah, he just has a bunch of plastic cheap Halloween gear.
Yeah.
But then when he takes all that shit off, he looks kind of cool. Like I think the singlet works for him and
Yeah,
like his eye
the
makeup.
the eye makeup works.
He's very committed to it. It's just like the goofiness of
Really, if he just lost the plastic scythe, I
really,
think that's what really
no,
does it.
honestly, if he just disrobed from like that gear, if he got rid of that by the time the lights came back on, that would make all the difference. Because when the lights are off, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point too.
But then the lights come on, and it's just some dude standing in what looks like a cafeteria. It's all lit like a
oh
cafeteria.
yeah, no, it's just fluorescent light. I don't know. That scythe just doesn't do it. It's so obviously plastic.
Yeah, I know. It's great. And then he's all like, oh, look at my lasers. This isn't getting old yet.
That looks great at Tokyo Dome.
Oh, yeah.
That looks fantastic when he does it there.
Then we had, once again, War Machine took on the Gorillas of Destiny.
Good match.
From Bullet Club. Really good
Gorillas
match.
of Destiny are fantastic.
Oh, they're amazing. They're fantastic. They're really good. They look like $1 million. Again, War Machine, when hosses fly, man. These guys were just doing all sorts of crazy shit. And they picked up the win, and afterwards is when they were giving the forearm bumps to all the young lions out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It was a good
really
moment.
cool.
But after the match, they dropped a promo saying,
Oh, yeah.
you know, we're going back home, but we're going to cross the ocean again and going after the IWGP heavyweight tag titles.
Crowd popped, man. It was great.
So we're going to maybe see War Machine versus Yano and Ishii.
Yeah. Oh, that was the funny thing. I think it was last night when Omega and Cole were doing their promo off. When Omega took the mic back from Adam Cole, he says, these people don't speak English. They can't understand you.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, they obviously did.
That really upset Adam Cole.
It really did. But he seems like such a likable guy. Let's see here. Then after War Machine versus Gorillas of Destiny, we had Hangman Page, Bad Luck Fale, Tokyo Pimp versus Juice Robinson, Jay Lethal, Tanahashi.
Page picked up the win over Jay Lethal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're pushing Hangman Page a little bit. They're like, hey, you know what? We don't want any weak links, and we don't need any Brian Adams and or Brian Clark. Brian Adams?
Brian Adams, I think.
Who's Clark?
He was Wrath.
Oh, okay.
Brian Adams was Crush in WWE.
Okay, all right. I thought
Brian Clark was Adam Bomb.
Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, Bullet Club picked up the win. Good for them. I feel like there's going to be especially because Cody's around now. Bullet Club's getting a new push.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see here. Then we had
Punisher Martinez or Punishment Martinez
versus the current never open weight champion
Hiroki Goto.
Goto. Goto picked up the win. Belt was on the line. Knew that wasn't going to change hands.
Nope.
Yeah. So you weren't huge on Punisher Martinez. It's okay. I thought that he looked like a well-designed character.
I think I looked. He's pretty new to Ring of Honor. He was in their top prospects tournament just this year.
Okay,
Or this
all
last
right.
year.
All
Sorry,
right.
I think
Well, that's
2016.
okay, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's learning. Next up, we had for the Ring of Honor World Title.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, baby, versus Yoshihashi.
It was a pretty decent match.
Evidently, maybe the double thing. I want people in the comments who are familiar with the ring. I want with New Japan. I want them to tell me who Yoshihashi is in the WWE. Who is his counter?
That's a good idea.
That's what I want to know.
He's been with New Japan since 2008, apart from a 2-year expedition to CMLL.
Interesting.
So he's been around for a little while.
All right. He doesn't stand out to me like a lot of the other names.
He hasn't won any championships.
Yeah. Then why in the hell is he going up against a Ring of Honor guy? Anyways, Adam Cole, I always like watching his matches. He's a decent storyteller. He doesn't do like crazy shit. And they even pointed that out. They're like, yeah, doing crazy shit really isn't his forte.
Yeah.
But it was a solid match. He picked up the win. With what is Adam Cole's finish called?
Last Shot.
Yeah, that's a great name. That's a really good name.
Yeah.
Then that brings us to the main event. The Elite and Cody Rhodes, so Bullet Club, versus the Briscoes, Okada, and Ospreay. The Briscoes kind of have a loose Chaos affiliation.
Yeah. Rocky Romero was saying because they were all drinking buddies.
Oh, that's good. Ospreay was the standout here.
He took a beating this match.
He took a beating, but he also doled it out. He was in this match a lot.
Yes.
A lot. It makes you wonder if they're going to really start pushing him. I mean, the kid is a stud.
I know, and he's 24 years old.
He's so young, and he's fantastic in the ring. He's absolutely amazing.
This match was like 25 minutes long and tons of fun.
It was so much fun.
Really,
Lots of great
anything
spots.
Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are involved in is probably going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. And Cody was great in this match.
Oh,
He
yeah.
picked up the win with Crossroads.
On Ospreay.
On Ospreay, yeah. But there were some really great moments here. There was like the trust exercise moment when Ospreay was on the outside and he was I probably got a couple super kicks or something. And I think it was the Young Bucks. They would kick him. He would fall
To Omega and
Rhodes.
Rhodes. And they put him back up on
They
the
would
apron.
push him back up.
To
and
get
that
super
happened a
kicked
couple
again. Yeah, like
times.
3 times. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
And there
A
was
lot
that
of really good
spot
moments.
where Cody was on the turnbuckle with Okada trying to do a superplex to everybody else was on the outside.
Oh, my God.
So Ospreay runs and pulls Okada off.
Yeah.
And jumps up and tries to superplex Cody the opposite way. Cody reverses it and ends up superplexing Ospreay onto everybody who's on the outside of the ring. It was crazy.
It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. And that's, I mean, honestly, those kind of matches, like...
Oh, here's something we need to talk about. So the start of the match, the teams are commiserating, trying to decide who starts. So Omega is going to start for the Bullet Club, and Okada is going to start for Chaos.
Oh, yeah.
And Okada turns around and sees Omega and does this. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because you never see Okada rattled.
Never.
You know?
And Kenny's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Okada starts pointing to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
It's like, put him in.
Yeah.
Tag him in. And then Okada tags in Mark Briscoe. Mm-hmm. And then Omega tags in Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
It was a pretty cool moment.
No, that was really cool. That was really neat. And they don't take it too serious. There's
that part where I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, where one of the Young Bucks went to Okada and said, "Suck it."
Oh my God, Okada was doing the
and
suck
Okada punched him and started dropping cross chops on everybody.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. They're not afraid. Here's the difference. This was like a house show. Mm-hmm. They loosen up like it's a WWE house show, and I feel like that's what we need to see more of in the WWE.
Oh, I agree. I know everything's so structured.
Yes.
In WWE.
Nobody can break kayfabe. Nobody can break alliances. Everybody has to be in their roles. They need to loosen up a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe people would freak out because they're not used to that, and I get that. And I know my thing is this: it's probably there is simply, and this is the kind of question I would love to ask somebody who's really immersed in New Japan. is culturally we understand how North America views pro wrestling. You know what I mean? I'm really curious because I understand how Japan views anime, for example, versus how the U.S. views animation.
Yes.
How Japan views manga versus how the U.S. graphic novels and comic books.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling, I don't know.
I could be completely wrong. My understanding is that in Japan, pro wrestling is treated more like a sport.
Right.
On par with, maybe not exactly on par, but comparable to baseball.
That's how it's covered, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas in the States here, there still is kind of that stigma. It's like, oh, it's pro wrestling. It's fake. Why would you watch that?
Well, and so
it's like again, it's based on my understanding. Like, I'm sure people in Japan are completely aware that pro wrestling is choreographed, but still they appreciate the athleticism and storytelling involved.
That's where I really wonder if you're right about that. I really wonder if, because there's no stigma, like there's no, I don't know what stigmas they have over there, but because there's no, like in terms of pop culture, there's no stigma about animation. You can have adult rated animation over there and people watch it in primetime TV. Same with, adults read manga like they read books or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if the things that we appreciate about pro wrestling in terms of like the athleticism, the storytelling, all that kind of thing, it's like there's not that automatic stigma about it being fake. And I wonder where in the US and North America could things have been different if something had been different, if we could have had that same attitude as a culture, had something been different.
Let me ask you.
If we weren't if the industry wasn't so obsessed with protecting the business from early on, if that sort of, you didn't know this was fake, I wonder if that was a big
Let me ask you
point.
something. And this comes to mind, especially with Oscar season just ending. Do you think here in the States we put competition above performance? Or should I say results above performance?
Well, give me an example. Give me some context.
Well, I guess I brought up the Oscar example because, saying what is the best of anything in terms of an artistic endeavor is a completely subjective thing. But yet everybody went up to Oscar season. Everybody drops their Oscar predictions. People they're like amped to report on the Oscars, partially because it's Hollywood and there's the glitz and the glamour. But I think also in America, we are like competition in results is kind of the end all be all. Whereas process and performance isn't necessarily as important as results are.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I don't know if it's different in other parts of the world.
If they appreciate things without there having to be a winner, and by extension, I mean, what you're talking about really is having your opinion validated, because that's what it is. It's like, oh no, I thought La La Land was the best movie this year. And it's like, well, I mean, that's great that it affected you that way, but you feel validated now because it won. I mean, it didn't win Best Oscar, but because the critics loved it.
And it won X number of Oscars.
Exactly. And then, Avatar, which is a pile of crap, gets the most money ever. Everybody's like, oh, Avatar is so great. It's like, no, it just made a lot of money. So, that's a culture I would love to be a part of, to be honest with you.
No, I know.
It's like
and I think that's why, or it seems like that's why there's a stigma attached to pro wrestling here. It's like, oh, it's fake because it's predetermined. There's no real winners and losers.
Yeah.
And then I think our attitude is like, why does that matter? You can go out there and appreciate the performance. You can appreciate the athleticism, the storytelling abilities of these wrestlers.
Yeah.
I mean, the wins and losses are secondary to the narratives they're telling. They push the narratives forward. And it's great that it seems like the Japanese fans appreciate that. And it's covered like a sport on par or comparable to baseball.
Well, in that respect, I really wonder. I know we're getting so far off topic here. We're virtually done with a recap. But I honestly wonder if, getting back to my point about the stigma of it being fake, I wonder if that had such a detrimental effect to the rest of pop culture buying into it, because as a culture, we don't like things that are fake. I mean, okay, hold on. Let me back up now.
Okay, yeah.
Because we love shit that's fake. we don't want to acknowledge it. It's
But I think also that goes to the competition results obsession that we may have here in America.
But if early on, and I have no idea how it was
Here,
approached
sorry.
in Japan.
Go ahead.
Do you think, I have no idea if this is the case, and I would love to know. I'm sure there was a book written about this. Was there ever a time in the history of Japanese pro wrestling when it was presented as something real? If they ever said, oh, this is real.
Oh, I have no idea.
That I don't know. And I wonder if that's a major sticking point in the history of both cultures, in that in the United States, there was always like, dude, if you go back to like even the carnival days or like the early 1900s, there were some pro wrestling matches that were shoot and there were some that were work. Both shoot and work were so intertwined.
Yeah.
And at a certain point for the WWE, it was like, no, you had to protect this. Like we need people to think that it's real. Otherwise, they're not going to go and see it anymore.
And I also wonder how much gambling might have played into all that.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. But anyway, something to research, if you guys in the comments have any historical context for Japanese pro wrestling, we'd love to hear it. Maybe we'll have to find a guest or something to bring them on.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So anyways, that's it for our New Japan Ring of Honor Rising recap. I like these New Japan ones. They're a lot of fun.
I know.
Anyways, until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.